Good day, class. This is your regular uncle on marketing, Uncle Philip. Welcome to Fame Global Academy. Today we are continuing. Last time we talked about products, marketing mix. So for today we want to look at classifications. Classification. Classifications of products. Classifications of products. Now, product is anything that can be offered to the market. Product is anything, any commodity that can be offered to the market. Any commodity that can be offered to the market for consumer to pick, to buy, is what we refer to as what? Products. So anything you take to market, any good at all that has element of satisfying humans' wants and desire is what we refer to as what? Products. So when you are going to the market, either to buy or to sell, especially to the seller who is bringing commodity to the market, what am I taking to the market is what becomes uppermost in your heart. Again, we said it must have an X element of satisfying the needs of the people. So if your item is not, it doesn't have the element of satisfaction, no need of taking it to the market. Now, this product, sometimes it can become tangible. Product can become tangible, and oftentimes it can become intangible. So under the classification of product, you have what we refer as tangible products, and the other part there is intangible products. Now, people go to the market to make supply of different items, and sort of those items they go to market to sell are products you can feel, you can touch the products. For instance, yam, tomatoes, any other edible commodity, something that you can buy, cook and eat, is under this classification. While the other one there include services that can be offered in the market. Services such as idea, giving directions, giving help, they are referred to as what we call intangible products. So when you come to the market, there are two aspects of the market there. The one is the products, the one is tangible products, which you can always buy, and the other one there is intangible. Now, these two items, they all get towards bringing what we call satisfaction. Satisfaction. Every day, everybody is looking for satisfaction. What will make you feel happy, what you can eat, and by the end of the day, you go to bed to sleep. Not what you can eat and you sleep in the toilet. So you look out for something that can give you satisfaction. So either of these two way, people are ready service, and at the same time, people are producing a commodity that people can see and pick. Now, inside this one, we have the one we refer to as product concept and production concept. So all these ones are inside what? Classification. So you have product concept. You have product concept. You have product concept, and at the same time you have the one referred as what? Production concept. Now, by product concept focuses on superior performance, or superior features, or superior innovations, By product concept, we are talking about superior items. Superior items you are bringing, quality items you are bringing to the market. So we have products, product concept. So by product concept we mean innovative items, innovative ideas that people bringing into market. People that have, items that have high exclusive demand in the market, or even less exclusive. But the issue here is that by product concept, it means it has a high feature. This one has a high feature. Then you have the one referred as production concept. Production concept. Now, by production concept, this particular one focuses on mass production. Mass production. Mass production. Mass production. Such as you have people who produces Indomie, pure water, Coca-Cola, drinks, Gary, and rest of them. Now, mass production, inside this mass production, you can have what we call mass distribution. And of course, once you go to the market, you have those ones that are within this classification of mass production concept. Their goods tend to circulate everywhere. And of course, you have different classes of buyer who comes to the market too. Everybody too have their own focus on the direction where they are headed to. So no matter what you want to talk to them on the way, the issue there is that what they know what they want to buy. They will know what they want to buy, and they want to pick what they want to buy. Now, inside this production concept, the price of the items here tend to be lower. The price here tend to be lower. This one are quality items, and the price here tend to be very high. The price in production concept, the price here tends to be very high. Why this one embarked on what we as well mass production. In this mass production, you have that the commodities are of lower prices. So everybody with their own capacity when they enter into the market. So there are people who have this high demand of quality items, and you have this one too that have low low demand, or demand that are not on the high side. So these are the two classes of human being you always found in the market. Now we talked about the next one is classification. Now I want to classify this one properly. All I'm trying to do is I just want to introduce to you what it takes to be involved, or what product it tends to appear, or what kind of product tends to appear in the market. So now we look at various classification of products. Now, number one product here is the one we refer to as industrial goods. The one we refer to as industrial goods. Now, by industrial goods here, we are talking about extractions of raw materials. So here, number one, you have industrial goods, industrial products. Now here is mainly on extraction of raw materials. Extractions of raw materials. So this one cut across, you have yam in its own raw state. Cassava is there. These ones are referred as what? Raw materials. Now you have cotton wool. These ones are part of raw materials. Raw materials are items that are the first hand product from the earth. The first hand product from the earth. It has not undergone any form of process. So in its raw state. So number one classification of products, or product classification, is the one we refer to as what? Industrial products. industrial products. So I've mentioned cotton wool. So cotton wool is a good example of industrial products. Okay, so from this particular one, it goes to another level entirely, just like cassava. So today, even the yam now, yam has yam flour. Okay, so you go to the market today to buy the yam flour, not even the yam itself. Now this one, you don't even need to pound any longer. You know, there's a way you can eat pounded yam without pounding it. So there's a way too you can eat other products from cassava without even pounding it the way they pound it locally, and as well as rice and the rest of them. You know, but in its first raw state, it may not be other appreciative, but by the time it leaves this particular phase to the next phase, it becomes more appreciative to some other class of persons. Just like we talked before about product concept, there are people under the product concept that may not want to come and pick this one in each state. So what they want to pick is the package rice flour or yam flour or cassava flour or whatever. That is what they want to pick. But there are people too, you know, under production concept that want to come and no, this one, I think this is the class where I belong to. Okay, I have the rest of them to cook it and to pound it myself than going to the other area. So here you have raw materials. Basically here you have raw materials. Now next is like even the first one. Next is like the first one, primary products. So here you have the primary products. The primary product is like the first one. The primary product is like the first one. So here you see have cotton wool. You have cotton wool here. You have yam tuber here. Eventually, those things you have here is being replicated here. So under primary products, you have items like yam, as I mentioned before, cassava, cotton wool, timber, all these ones are inside primary production. Now when you see them in their own primary state, you may not find any form of good inside. But today, by the time you have extracted timber to other area, you will begin to appreciate the work of nature. Then you have cotton wool, then you have cassava, you have yam, you have rice. All these ones are inside what we refer as well primary products. Primary products. So the primary product is more or less like where you have the industrial products, where you have the commodity from the earth that have not undergone any other processes. Now, having talked about the primary, we go to the next level of product. And that next level of product is the one we refer to as a secondary product. Secondary product. Secondary product. Now, by these secondary products, these items that have left industrial products to primary products now have eventually entered what we refer to as what secondary products. So by secondary products, here the thing has entered the process. It has entered another stage entirely, another stage of refinement. So the popular cassava we used to have before have now been transformed into another level that is different from the first one. The first class of cassava, but they prefer the second class of cassava. There are some persons who may not want to eat fufu. They don't like fufu. They don't like pounded fufu, but they like gari. Now, these ones are from the same source. Cassava that give you pounded fufu, that is equally to give you gari. They are from the same commodity. They are from the same commodity. Now you equally have yam. Now inside that yam now we now have yam flour. You have yam flour. You have different items that emanate from the first original industrial product or the primary product. Then we equally have smoked fish. Now fish in its fresh raw state, most person doesn't like eating fresh fish. Most person doesn't like eating fresh fish, but they can eat fried fish. You know, they eat it very well as if that is not fish. And some other person too eat smoked fish as if that is not the same fish that they don't like in the first stage. Then having talked about secondary product, the next one is consumer goods. The next item is called consumer goods. The next item on the list is consumer goods. Now, these consumer goods include tin tomatoes. They are almost like the same but in different form. So here you have the one referred as what? Tin tomatoes. Tin tomatoes. These tin tomatoes are graduated from the primary raw state of it to the secondary. Then now it's now being packaged together into a tin. And tin tomatoes can stay as long as possible, though it has expiring date. Then Gary and the rest of them, they are equally inside what we refer as what? Consumer goods. Consumer goods are goods that you eventually consume on a daily basis. Now we want to classify these other consumer goods to other forms. These consumer goods can also be classified into other goods, such as you have one we call convenience goods, or convenient products. Now, these convenient products include little items that children pick on a daily basis when they are going to school. So inside there you have biscuit, you have sweet, you have newspaper, you have chewing-gum. You have these little items. They are referred, this one is under consumer goods. So inside the classification of products, you have number 4 part of it there is consumer goods. And in this consumer goods, you have other classification referred to as convenience. So here you have toiletry, you have cigarettes, you have those items that sometimes too it's not only sold in the shop now. Even in this street itself, you see Aboki, they are selling sweet, they are selling chewing-gum, they are selling biscuits. All these small items that children most of the time pick when they are going to school, they are referred to as what? Convenient good. You can pick it easily. You can be sleeping in your house and you feel that, there's no toiletry in the convenience. Let me go and pick this item. You just go nearby and pick them. Cigarettes, and sometimes too you usually have soft drinks, to pick across the road there. Now inside of this one, you only have the one referred as a shopping product. So inside convenience, inside the consumer product, you have the one we refer to as a shopping product. You have the one we refer to as what? Shopping product. Now this product graduates from one level to another. So here you have what? Shopping, or product. Now, and by shopping product, here we now, this one is classified into you have electronic product. So here you have electronic product. You have clothing. You have clothing, and other high commodity, other high items, other items you can pick in the market. So inside of this one, you have this, and you have a shopping product, which also include electronic products. You have this one here. Then outside of this one too, you equally have the one we refer to as a specialty. You have the one we refer to as what? Specialty products. Specialty product. This one is of high demand. They are of high grade. All these items are of different grades. So you can't be having confidence to where you have this one or where you be having this one. This one are highly exclusive. They are not like every other one. And also, you don't see everybody here. You don't see everybody here. Now, the people you see here, they are referred to as celebrities. And so, like here now, you can be having where they sell some this Wivon of 500,000. So, somebody of this class cannot come here. Everybody have their own class here. So, the one that is looking for item of 1,000 naira cannot come to where you have a specialty product. So this one are exclusive for some persons in the society. Then, of course, it has here you have luxury. This one is luxury, and people of a higher class, they are the one that you can find here most at time. Now, oftentimes, product in the market has some challenges. Product in the market has some challenges. Now, having talked about products, classification of products, now we have seen different classes, and the last one we talked here was is consumer goods. Now, outside of this one, we'll look at reasons why most of these products fail in the market. Now, the next item here is reasons why new products may fail in the market. Reasons why new product may fail in the market. See, market is all about taking critical analysis of business. Business is not what you just you jump into. If you are if you don't think well and you walk into market, most of the time people will jump out of business. So business is something that you sit down and look at it critically. Just like the Bible says, any man who want to build a house must first sit down and count the costs. So if you are going into business looks luxury, it looks juicy. Everybody want to jump into business. Everybody want to jump into business. But the most important part or why most business fail most of the time is that people don't sit down to take what we call critical analysis. Now, number one is inadequate market analysis. You have inadequate market analysis. Inadequate market analysis. There is need for what we refer to as good market survey. Taking what is referred as market flexibility. So it's a business that will have to take a long time. See, some are of short-term investment, and while some are of long-term investment. So when you are going into business, what comes to mind is, having adequate analysis, market analysis, having adequate, analysis. But at most of the time, why business fail is that people they do what we call copyright. They are not the owner of this business, They don't understand, what this business, entails. So they just walk into it, thinking that that is how the thing, goes. Oftentimes you see people going to open schools. People go to open school because A has open school. Don't worry, just go. By the time you have raised on school fees and you pay the first salary, but in the next month again, to pay salary become difficult. So we have seen that even in the war, most schools, they are just closed, even under 1 year. Some have run into deficit, bad one, serious one. Why? Because they have just looked at A. You see now this A that is wearing a pants slippers, that have been walking up and down. If this guy can run school, most of the time people have the mentality that if this guy that is wearing pants slippers, walking up and down here, looking unkempt, if he can run the school, I can run the school too. Oh, don't worry, go there. Go there and see what that man is saying. So first and foremost, one of the reasons why new product may fail in the market, is inadequate market analysis. Inadequate market analysis is one of the major factors that make businesses most of the time to fail. Now, number two, there is a new product may fail because of insufficient fund. So other one include fund. So here you have fund. Fund can make a business to collapse. Not having enough capital to run the business. Just like we have, this said before that you don't know how A have studied the business. A that is out there doing this business must have taken time to study, because there is no business without competitor. Every business on earth, they all have a competitor. So just like I mentioned in the beginning when I introduced you to marketing, I said God on his own created man and woman, dropped them in the Garden of Eden and blessed them. God himself is called what? A businessman. But along the line too, God himself to have a competitor. So if God can have a competitor, which is Satan, so who are you that will not have a competitor? So there is no business on earth where you go in and you don't get competitor. People are there. See, even before you go to school and come out and say you study the business administration or you're a business analyst, there are people who have been there before you. You can't kill them. You can't push them out of the way. If you even succeed in cleaning themselves, the children are there to continue the business. So you must have it in mind that one of the major challenges, in this business, or what a part of the challenge that makes it to fail, is not having adequate finance and not taking into consideration the competitors you have in the market. They are there. And of course, everywhere you go to, no matter how you want to find people to push them out of the way, you can't push everybody out of the way. Only you cannot have the monopoly, except for some few cartels in the world that have power of monopoly. So, like I mentioned when we talk about the elements, the element of marketing means and the rest of them. We talk about monopoly. So there are people who have the monopoly. They enter into a state and they buy up that a company, whether they are operating in that company or not. The issue there is that they have monopoly to operate. So they are there 24 hours. There are some places in the world where you will go to, you will not see a particular product. It's not as if the product is not a circulation, but the owner of this business has said to buy it. I wouldn't want to mention some of this a company. They have all it takes. They are big time cartels. So they buy products, whether they are there or not, you can't sell. You cannot sell that business there. You cannot sell that business. So now other failure is insufficient follow-up. You have what we call insufficient follow-up. Insufficient follow-up. Now, most of the time, people may not want to assist their client on the product they have, product they pick from you. And oftentimes you see somebody who have just come to your shop picked an item, it's finding it difficult to fix the product, and you're not equally what bothered. Even when they are calling yourself, you are not even picking your call. You are not even bothered. The major concern you have here is that you are selling this product. Come and explain. Come and why is this not working? Oga, I'm busy. Oga, I'm busy. But when you are looking for this product, you were everywhere marketing it for people to come and buy from you. Now they are buying the product and they cannot get the full services, that you promised them. They cannot get the full services you promised them from the beginning. So these ones are the things. Then the next one there is a high cost of production. High cost of production. High cost of production. High cost of production. Now most of the time, because of high cost of production of this new product in the market, of course, you as a producer, you are putting into consideration that this work has cost me so much more money. Now in an attempt to sell this product, what do? You want to recover your money. Everybody wants to recover their money, even if it is under just 1 year. They want to recover the money, but it is not possible. It's not possible to recover the money you invested into the business under 1 year, or under 6 months, or under 3 months, or under 1 month. No. Now, once your items are expensive, we leave you now. There are other people too that have the same items, but their prices are of a lower price. Now, the next one there is competitive strength. Now, sometimes you have this thing trying to repeat themselves. You have number 5 is competitive price, or competitive strength and reaction. Competitive strength. Competitive strength and reaction. Competitive strength and reaction. It's not everybody that have all it takes, to operate in the market. But the issue here is that we don't want to say atom and die of hunger. So that is why we are carrying our goods to the market. We are carrying our items to the market. And you are coming to the market now where you are coming to look for your daily bread. And you are meeting who is who in business. Who is who in business. See, the way it is in business, also in politics too. So you don't just jump up one morning and say you're going into politics without sitting down and take a critical look, a critical analysis of what it takes to be in politics. And for you to be in politics, you have to go to the grassroots, and start working first before you can from the grassroots maybe work in the unit. Now, having worked in the unit, you can maybe work in a war. From the working in the war now, maybe the next one again is to work in local government. So you must have operated in local government before you can begin to think of can I now move to the state. Now maybe by the time you just enter and you want to jump in, you want to enter where you someone to enter. Somebody will tell you, oh, but where are you coming from? My friend, who are you? And by the time they will sit you down and talk to you, you don't feel that guy, you don't belong here. You don't belong to this place. Now go that way, go down to the grassroots. That is where you can fit in. Now by the time you go to the grassroots too, there you equally meet some people who have been there. There are people who have been there serving. There are people who have been there working. Now the next thing you consider here, do I have the strength? Do I have what it takes to compete with this made in the market? So if you don't have the strength, your reaction will be zero. And of course, you have a product to sell here, that product will not sell. The product here will not sell. Instead, this product will fail. This product will fail because you do not have all it takes to be in this market. So first and foremost, as a businessman, sit down and do what we call feasibility study. Feasibility study of this business before you jump into it. If you don't do a critical analysis of business or product you want to embark upon, I promise you, the business, it will not go. It will not go. So don't look at everybody in the street and be telling yourself that if Mr. Mike can run this business, even me too as Mr. Jones can as well run this business. It does not go that way. It does not go that way. Now you have production problems such as technical deficiency. Technical deficiency. See, most of the time, you cannot be everybody in the business. We have technical issues, depending on where you are going into, depending on what you want to do. You know, if your own has to do with technical, of course, if you don't have the technical experts, if you don't have the technical experts in that business, you go nowhere. So there's need, you see, in business, in making sure that your product sells in the market, you must ready to what? Put money there. So we have seen that why most of this business fail is the money is not there. The money is not there, and even with the little resources you have there, you have all of a sudden become an economist. You have all of a sudden become an economist. You know, gone are those days people go to school to study economics, but now people they don't go to school again now. They don't go to university to study economics. So every person now, we are all economists now, trying to manage the little resources you have. Now, in an attempt to manage the little resources you have, you do not have all the technicalities in business. There are people too that are higher than other works. There are people too who are higher than other works. You have a poor corporate image, poor corporate image. You know, your image in the business matters a lot. Your image in the business matters a lot. Now, in the real estate business world, now if you as an agent, you know, you are coming to sell a business of 6 billion. How will it be looking like? Let me ask you, my audience. My audience looking at me at home. You know, you have a business of 6 billion you want to market. And in going to market this business, you are wearing pants slippers. You are wearing one t-shirt and one rugged jeans. How do you think your client will look at you? They will look at you as, guy, is it this one that want to sell this marketing this product of 6 billion? Before you know, they will just say, guy, can we reschedule this appointment tomorrow? And before you know, because of your your corporate look, somebody have to just change mind. But oftentimes in this business world, some person can go as far as, you know, I've seen a very good client. You know, I want to impress my client. You see them going to hire one Jeep, you know, get a driver that will drive them, and they will book an appointment with you. They will tell you, guy, we are meeting in what time will be coming for you? Let's make it at 5 p.m. Okay? So where are we meeting? Hey, guy, you choose where you want us to meet. It's okay. Let us meet in. Think of any good hotel. Okay, we meet in Spring Hill Hotel. Okay, we go to Spring Hill. So by 5 p.m. you are before 10 minutes to 5 you are already there. And most likely, by the time other smaller agents see you come down from a very classic Jeep, you know, having, you know, this corporate look in mind. By the time you come down from the Jeep, and perhaps the man coming to buy this land of 6 billion, he came on keke. Because most at time too, most of these guys, they disguise themselves. They wouldn't want to, you know, tell you that they are the one buying. But they seeing you, the way you look, you know, and sometimes too you can wear suits, you know, you dress well. So corporate look most at time discourages your clients. So no client will want to come and invest big amount of money. Let's say it's even 20 million or 100 million. You know, I just use 6 billion, you know, because there's a property there we are marketing for 7 billion. And so each at time you have good client coming, you must look well. Don't look haggard. So, but why most of this new product fail in the market is that even the owners of this product too, they are not looking it. And because they are not looking it, how can you tell me that you are a medical doctor and you are smoking? How can you tell me you are a medical doctor and you are coughing? How can you tell me you are a medical doctor and you have a measles and chicken pox all over you? So what do you want me to believe? I won't believe this kind of thing now. Just like in the Bible, you discover that the rich man and the Lazarus, you know, see here you begin to, you know, if you're a good analyst and student of history, begin to look at why was this man Lazarus not being able to convert the rich man. The rich man had nothing to see. There was nothing before Lazarus. Is it you that is collecting the crumbs from me? So is your God rich? If your God is rich, I should be seeing it in you now. Okay. Now, but if you see a man, good-looking man, or suit. In fact, even the pep in his body, that comes out of his body, self, what good amount of money. And if he's telling you God is a rich God, will you not believe him? You believe him. You don't need to waste time. You don't even need to argue. So most of the time, why most of these business fail, we have mentioned a lot of things like phone. You have contributor and you don't have a good strength. Now you have corporate. You are poor corporate look. Not looking like the business you are presenting. So if you are presenting a business of 5 million, you should look like that business of 5 million. For you to be measuring that kind of a million, it simply means you are equally be eating what millions too. Now we haven't talked about reasons why most of these businesses fail. You have causes of customers dissatisfactions. Causes of customers dissatisfaction. Most of our customers causes of customers dissatisfaction. Now most at time, because of the way your business look, of course, like I've said before, I've mentioned poor corporate look. So here you have poor service delivery. Poor service delivery. So one of the factor here is also as well poor service delivery. Poor service delivery. You are bringing an item to me. You are bringing some about 32 inches television, and the thing is well packaged. And lo and behold, now that we want to test it, we discover that one side is looking somehow. There's a crack there. You have not delivered, or you are bringing some crate of eggs to me, and by the end of the day, I discover that the tray, they are cracked. You are customers, you are clients, which you are equally looking for. All of us are looking for clients that we can track money from their pocket. So if by the end of the day you have this poor delivery, nobody want to patronize you tomorrow. And that is why as a businessman, which we're equally teaching you to become, not only passing your exams and going to school, work in government, but we're equally trying to bring you to become what self-reliance in business tomorrow. You may not be working under tangible product company, but you can equally be working under what intangible product company, where you offer your idea, the idea you have acquired all this while. Now there are people that need your idea. See, there are most company in the world, they employ you as consultants. So you become a consultant. Come and tell us how to do this business. So let's say for instance you are very good in you study nutrition in the university. So by the time you come out now as a nutritionist, so will the course you have read in school will it not be so viable and relevant to company that are into other bakery, changing, Hollandia production and the rest of them? They will be looking for you, and by the time you put your CV, now most of the CV now fly in the internet. Just go to the internet and tell them, I'm looking for this expert in so place. Before you know, everything about the persons appear. So gone are those days people are going to read a newspaper, to maybe get a newspaper publication. Everything information you are looking for today, just go and ask Google. Google will give you the location, give you the person's phone number. Gone are those days people, they say go and learn, look for who will teach you Spanish. Go to Facebook, you see people who are teaching it freely. You see people who are teaching freely. Those 80s are offered freely. Now, gone are those days you are looking for an architect who will draw a building plan for you. These days, the world, everybody have become wise. So we're all looking for where to, cut costs. Now go to Google now and ask Google, I need a 5-bedroom duplex. The Google tool will bring it out for you. And you begin to see flip of it at what you like. And by the end of the day, what you do, you print it from there. And by the time you print it, you give it to your engineer. Oh boy, go and design this work. Take it to Langs for approval. Now, by so doing here, you are not paying the engineer any money. Did you do anything? Were you the one that draw the plan? You have gotten this plan just free of charge. You know, so this is people are shying away from some businesses, just to manage the little resources they have. Businesses have its own challenges. So here is poor service delivery. Poor service delivery. So when you are delivering a product to your client, ensure that what you are delivering is something that the person can enjoy very well. Now the other one there is fraudulent. You have fraudulent practices, fraudulent activities. You see, most people now in business are fraudulent. But you see that this kind of person, they don't, stay far in business. Because if you dupe it today, it's okay. We have marked you. It's all right. When my mate is going to market tomorrow, I will tell them, please look out for this face when you get to the market. Like now, those we used to do affidavit, in court. You do manual one. But today, government have changed their own now, and they said affidavit must be what? Online. So if you go and do the old one, that one a bad market. Because if they catch you, you are in trouble. If they catch you, you are in trouble. So now everybody go online. And by the end of the day, government too, they are getting their own money too. You see, the government of this country, there's no way they cannot track money. So money is good to run a business. But the issue here is that you cannot rule out these fraudulent activities. They are everywhere. Even those guys that sells in the first station, when you see, manager will come and do his own programming. By the time he finish doing his own programming, okay, this is what we have for the day. See, you are not an expert. See, you cannot undermine going to school, because in going to school, you acquire a lot of knowledge, both the good and the bad. Because by the end of the day, you know how to steal from your boss. But if you're not intelligent, you can't steal. I hope you're hearing me there. If you're not intelligent, my audience in the house, if you're not intelligent, if you don't go to school to learn this knowledge, broaden your horizon, you can't steal. People who go outside there to steal, they are intelligent criminal. In fact, my boss at one time called them, he said they are intelligent criminal. Intelligent criminal. They may not show you at first that they're criminals, but they will play good boy to you. Good boy. Submit all the money to you. Even open their pint and say, Augustinio, I don't like eating people's money. You don't know anything. I don't like taking people's money. See me, nothing. See my shoe, there's nothing there. And even you, by the time the young boy leaves now, he say, even as I'm going now, I'm going to take home. This guy must be so sincere. Oh boy, come. No, okay, don't bother. I'm working with the whole of my heart. This guy is an actor. He's acting. By the time he has built this empire of trust, you can even leave the key of your house to him. I say, guy, take care. There is no CCTV anywhere, but this guy is transparent. And not doing that. See, he's a criminal. He has just taken some time to study very well. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Criminals are everywhere. Everywhere. They are rats. Rats, it will just be one gonna peeping you. So fraudulent activities, you cannot rule out plenty lot of dysfunction we experience in business. One of it is what? Fraudulent acts. And you as a boss who want to diversify in your own business, you cannot continue to be everywhere. You cannot continue to be everywhere. So you want to create work for other people. And in as much as you want to create work for other people, you can't be everywhere. You cannot be ubiquitous. You can't be here, there, and there. No. Boys has to be in different areas. Where, they have to be working for you. They have to be working for you. But the issue there is that, yeah, you see this thing that causes dissatisfaction in business, you cannot rule it out. Boys will normally play, some smartness. Now, having talked about this fraudulent practices, the other one is inadequate parking space. Most of the businesses we have all over the world have this inadequate. We have inadequate parking space. Now, if you are running eateries where people can come and eat food, you say it's good food, the activity is okay. But the issue is that, let's say for instance that the first time that Mr. A or XYZ enter your eatery to go and eat, enjoy himself in the AC and all whatnot, he only came out again to enter his car and discovered that his cars were nowhere to be found because he parked along the road. That good food will disappear under 1 second. That food will disappear. Why? Perhaps the car falling into the hand of criminals. Number one, the car too would have fallen into the hand of some government agent who will be telling you that you wrongly parked. Just pray to God that it was just wrongly parked, not that the thing enter into the hands of hoodlums. If he enter into the hand of a government agent that says you wrongly parked, that one too you can go there and sort out yourself. But if by the end of the day it was just enter into the hand of the hoodlum, the thing disappear from there. Just like you organize a wedding reception, and there are no good space for people to park their car. No good space for people to park their car, and by the end of the day, I came for XYZ wedding reception. I just parked somewhere there. I went inside the small hall, and when I'm coming out from that place again, my car is nowhere to be found. Nobody's interested in this kind of thing. Then let's assume maybe you have a church, a very big church, and you don't have a good parking space. And by the end of the day, nobody will be happy that you came to church, and by the end of the day, you cannot see your car to go with. That yourself won't come again. Is it that church where they see people where you enter to worship God, and before you come out, your car has disappeared. Okay, so one of the things that bring dissatisfaction to our client is what you refer to as what? Parking space. So when you don't have good parking space, there will always be a problem. Now we talk about low response to customers' requests. Now there are places you enter today. Either you want, let's say for instance, interest. By the time you enter there, you will see that even the sales girl is busy talking with another girl somewhere or another boy somewhere, and you just go and sit down. Normally, when you enter a place to eat food, customers, the owners of the business or the sales girl or whatever, will be at the door post to tell you, okay, you're welcome. Okay, you're welcome. You can sit down here. See, every customer we feel happy getting good response. Every customer, we always want good response. And by the end of the day, see, there are shops where you enter, you see the owners of those business. They are everywhere in the world. They're everywhere in the world. You see some people squeezing their face. Come, who are you squeezing face for? You came out here, is it to squeeze face for customers or your client? This client, they are the reason why you are outside here. Oftentimes you enter some taxi, and you be asking the taxi driver, how much does it go for? The man will keep quiet. You'll be squeezing face. He will give one kind of price to put you away. And when you tell him your own price, he will tell you, okay, come down. Okay, come down. It's my money, and if I mark your face very well, tomorrow I won't enter that bike, or I won't enter that taxi. So you are out there to make your money, make sure that your customers feel happy. Next time I can come back. But if I come today and your reception to me is like a thinker, you don't expect to get me there tomorrow, because I have this a perception that you are not the only person out there. There are 1,001 person doing that same thing there. Like I tell you in the previous lesson, that when I went to one of the hospital in the war, the way the pharmacist responded to me was 100%. That if I was not married, I would have even proposed her there on the spot. Why? Because of her reception. Her reception. So customers, clients who are out there, to bring out money from their pocket, to increase the money in your own pocket, to increase your own profit margin, you should treat them as kings. You should treat them as kings. You have what referred as a poor product quality. Poor product quality. Now, all these ones can cause what we call dissatisfaction. Poor. So from the word poor, poor, it simply means what? It is poor. 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 Most of the time, most of these items, they have good look. Most of these items, they have good look. But inside are bad. Inside are bad. Some are expired. Some are expired. Oftentimes, see, today, we might well go to buy our drugs. Because sometimes carelessly, you see a pharmacist, the drugs has expired. So what the last doctor doing there? You want to sell it to poor people. And before you see them using a marker to change the expiring date. The content is already bad, it's bad. So if I treat myself of malaria, using an amateur subject, and by the end of the day, I'm taking the relevant whatever doctor prescribed for me, and after 1 week, the thing is still persisting. When I return back again to complain, he said, okay, maybe your body chemistry is not accepting this one. For how long have you been taking amateur subject? I say, for a long time. Okay, it's like your body has adapted to amateur subject. We will change another product entirely. Are you giving me that product free? You are not giving me that product free. Poor product quality. Most of the products, that are displayed outside there, they are poor. They are faulty inside. Only, selling of this one to the detriment of the poor masses. Now we have bad behavior of staffs. Bad behavior of staff. All these ones, are what causes dissatisfaction. Bad behavior of staffs. So when you are selling, if you are a sales girl, sell very well, because that is where your guy, will pay you. But if you don't attend to people very well, next time you can't get them back. You cannot get them back. So gradually, I will be drawing the curtain under this bad behavior of staffs. Bad behavior of staffs. Remember where we started today's lesson? Okay. Remember where we started this lesson today? We started from where classification of product. And by classification of product, we say products are classified into 4 different categories. Products are classified into 4 different categories. You have the one referred as what? Industrial. Industrial and that of primary, they are almost the same. Where you have first hand or first class products from the ground. So they are referred to as inside industrial, you have the primary. So these 2 things are raw material from the earth. Then you going to have the secondary. So from that raw stage, it has gone to another level of processing. Okay, so either from raw to semi finished goods, from that same semi finished good to a finished good that a customer or a client out there will see it and pick. Then that is under the secondary. Then you have the one referred as consumer goods. Now these ones are already finished goods, like tin tomatoes, small fish, and the rest of them. They are inside this one. Then we'll talk about consumer goods. What are these consumer goods? We classify them into 3 parts. The consumer goods are classified into 3 parts. Where we have the one referred to as the convenience. So inside convenience, you have small items like a cigarette, newspaper, a toilet roll, chewing gum, sweet. They are inside a product called convenient goods. Then you only have the one we call the shopping products. These shopping products, big places where you can have clothing of different kinds to buy. Big shops where you can walk in and have different brands of generator or electronics to buy. Then you only have the one we call the specialty shop or specialty products. In this particular one, they are meant for different class of persons. Now, just like you have that, the items we sell out there, they are for different classes of persons. So you don't expect a senator to come and buy one kind of wine one can wine that even his SA cannot drink. Okay, so for a governor, you don't expect it there. There are specially designed shop where you can enter. They will tell you that this one bottle of drink is 3 million. So poor man cannot enter there to go and buy those 3 million. If you make mistake and enter there, it's not every place that you even enter and tell them I want an item of 1,000. We don't have it here. Okay, please check. See, there are places where you enter, somebody will tell you, okay, check the other shop there. That simply means that these shops are not for you. Okay, it's not every place where you enter to buy a Wivon that we accept you, because the next one is what is your budget? You see, the sales rep with a smiley face, he will tell you, okay, what's your budget? He said, well, I'm looking for Wivon of 150. He said, the man will smile back at you. He said, Uncle, sorry, check the opposite shop. This one we have here, this one is 1.5 million. The other one is 2 million. The other one is 5 million. Just like that. And by the time they are giving you all this price, you have no option rather than to what? Disappear from that place. Now again, I took you to reasons why new product fail in the market. Reasons why new product fail in the market. Now we talked about not having good market survey. You didn't do your work. You didn't do your homework. Critical analysis of the business or the product you decided to impact upon. Yeah. Now you want to go and enter a business, and your business is to go and sell fresh tomatoes. Okay. You have not put into consideration how do I preserve these tomatoes after the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, after 1 week. Can I preserve them? Or you are going into selling of fish, and by the end of the day you don't have a cool room where you can preserve these items. How do you want to do it? Okay, you want to go into smoking, and so that means firewood too. Buying of firewood too has to be put into consideration. Now we talked about all that thing that can make it to fail is not having proper follow up, You don't bother about your client. They buy the product. Just like in real estate business, you discover that most of the time agents, once you have given them their percentage, they disappear. So if you as the owner of the property now, when you are having issue and you're calling them, guy, please, where are you? Come. Sorry, I'm in Abuja. I'm in Sokoto. I'm in the other way. They won't, we won't say you to defend us. We'll be running up and down. So most agents in the world, once their own percentage enter their pocket, I know they won't like me saying this, but that is the fact. So when you are selling your product, ensure that you follow this client. Follow them up to ensure that by let them build, packing, and feel satisfied. When your client build and packing, you can pay him a visit, and when you pay him a visit, he will treat you well.